Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Courtney Ryan, and in this video, we're going to be going over some brutal truths men need to know to live their best lives from a woman's perspective here. I have learned so much from interacting with all of you and wanted to share some truth nuggets that I've learned along the way. A lot of these have actually helped me out personally, so I have a feeling that they will also be helpful to you. A bit of big sis advice from me to you, take it or leave it. Number one is one that I mention a lot on my channel, but that's because it's so important, and that is you control how you respond and react. So just as you've heard me say a million times before, we can't control what happens to us, but we can control how we respond and react to it. And the brutal truth is that the way you respond and react says a lot about you and your character. You have the power to choose how you respond and react to things, so I say choose wisely. And I'll give you an example here that I actually read about today, and that was your anger is a normal human emotion, but the way that you respond to your anger might not be. And maybe I'll do an entire video on tips to make sure that you respond and react in a way that you're proud of or that you feel better about. If you guys would want to see that, let me know down in the comments. My next one is one that a lot of you guys are not going to like to hear, and that is that first impressions are so important. And I know a lot of you don't like to hear this, but you need to because it's true. This includes the way you carry yourself, the way you interact with people, the way you present yourself and show up for yourself. Putting in effort to your appearance is specifically something that a lot of men do not do. I posted a short video over on TikTok about grooming habits that men should have. One of them was washing your body with soap in the shower, and the uproar I got from men about how they don't want to do that was a little bit concerning and was a sign to me that those people probably needed to see that video. A lot of guys aren't doing this. Some reasons are because they might think it's too feminine, which newsflash, it's not. Or you're just lazy, you don't want to put in the effort, it's too much work. But I promise that putting in just a little bit of effort makes such a big difference. Another truth nugget here is that are looks everything? Absolutely not, but they certainly don't hurt ya. And one thing I know so many of you are not doing that you should be doing that would drastically improve your looks is having a skincare routine. And that is why I'm so excited that today's video is sponsored by Tiege Hanley. Seriously guys, I think a lot of you still don't believe me when I tell you the importance of implementing a quality skincare routine and just how much that can impact your confidence and the way you show up for yourself. Tiege Hanley makes taking care of your skin uncomplicated. They provide you with all the products you need and nothing that you don't. So I recommend that you start with their level 1 system, which comes with all the basics that you'll need. A daily face wash, an exfoliating scrub, an AM moisturizer with SPF 20, which you all need to be using. You're tough, but you're not tougher than the sun. And a PM moisturizer to use before bed. And to make it even easier, they provide an instruction card in every single box that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. This is something that you do not want to put off any longer because prevention is key. Start now. Your future self with baby soft skin will thank you. In addition to amazing skin, members of Tiege Hanley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off the retail price, access to exclusive monthly deals, pause or cancel at any time, and free US shipping. And because Tiege Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers an amazing deal. Just click that first link down in my description to get 30% off of your first box, plus a free gift. Do not miss out on this amazing deal. Click that link and get started today. My next brutal truth is that health is wealth. Taking care of yourself from the inside out is important and should be a priority to you. If you don't have your health, nothing else even matters. Exercise regularly, eat nutritious foods that fuel your body, cut the junk food crap, and prioritize your well-being. I'm not saying you need to eat chicken and kale for every single meal, but just prioritize what you're putting into your body and try to be mindful of it. There's a really powerful quote that says, "A well man has 1,000 wishes, a sick man only has one." Let that sink in. My next truth is that sometimes the problem is you, unfortunately. And playing the victim or blaming everyone else is not going to help you. Take accountability and understand that we are all flawed. We all make mistakes, but acknowledging that is how we grow, it's how we evolve, it's how we become better humans, better spouses, better friends, better sons, better daughters, whatever you are, whoever you are watching, you can be better when you acknowledge your mistakes and own up to them and take that accountability and understand, you know what, I'm not perfect, that's okay, I make mistakes, that's okay, but if you own up to it, you can take responsibility for it, you will only grow because of that. If I'm a single woman and no man in the world wants to date me, do you really think that every single man in the world is the problem? Or do you think I might play a role in that too? I think I might play a role in that too, because I'm the common denominator here. And the same thing goes for you guys. I don't say that to be hurtful. I say that so that you can realize the things that you might need to work on. Again, none of us are perfect. I've been wrong more times than I can count, and that is perfectly okay. My next one, another one that you've heard me say a lot, is that actions speak louder than words for yourself and also others. This one really comes in handy to understand when you're dating. I'm offering a woman's perspective to you guys here. Watch what she does, not what she says. Dating will become a lot more clear to you and make so much more sense when you're interacting with women if you follow this rule. And I've told you guys also before, if she likes you, you'll know. And you'll know if you watch her actions and be able to see things a lot more clearly that way instead of trying to pick apart and, decode her mixed signals or whatever it is. So instead of trying to decode a text message or read between the lines or, understand and decode the mixed signals, just watch what she does and you'll understand things a lot better. And really, general rule of thumb here, if she likes you, you'll know. If you don't know or you're confused, she probably doesn't like you. And again, this one applies to you as well, not just with women. Just saying you're going to go to the gym won't make you fit. You actually have to go. The next brutal truth is that the saver is sexier than the spender. Trust me, guys, and if you don't take my word for it, there have been studies done about this. This says, when someone is a saver, we assume they have general self-control. That's a desirable quality. This research indicates that many women desire a partner they can rely on and trust rather than someone who is going to be spending down a joint bank account. Another study conducted by researchers at the University of Minnesota found that owning a Porsche might get you a one-night stand, but nothing more romantically substantial. If you're a man who's looking for an uncommitted, short-term hookup, then it turns out that displaying expensive products may be in fact a good strategy. But if you want a long-term, healthy relationship with a wonderful lady, well, that Honda Civic you're driving is A+. And a truth within a truth here that I want you guys to understand is not to spend money to impress people or to put on a facade. You know what isn't sexy? A guy driving a car he can't afford. A guy who spent all his money on designer clothes but doesn't have a savings account or a 401k. Be responsible with your money and set yourself up for your future. This doesn't mean that you have to be cheap or not get anything that you want in life. If you make money, you should enjoy it, but also think about your future. Think about things long term instead of from this instant gratification, temporary pleasure standpoint. Also, a little bonus truth for you for this one that ties in pretty well here is that if you don't appreciate what you have, you'll never be happy. It will never be enough. You'll just constantly be striving and working towards the next thing, which can be helpful in ways to make sure that you're working towards your purpose and your goals and achieving things in your life. But also being happy requires gratitude and being thankful for what you already have. There are so many people who just constantly want the next best thing and totally disregard everything they have that so many people don't have and would be incredibly thankful for. So appreciate what you have or you'll never be happy. It will never be enough for you. There are rich people in the world who have everything you could ever imagine. They drive the nicest cars, they have the nicest houses, they have wonderful clothes and all these things, and they're still depressed. What does that tell you? My next one is that not everyone is going to like you, and that is okay. And the sooner you realize this, the happier you will be. Take it from me, trying to get everyone to like you is flat out exhausting and also just impossible. You are not for everyone, and that is okay. And coming from a woman's perspective here, giving you advice on this topic, not every woman that you go on a date with is going to like you or be compatible with you, and that is also okay. And if you go into dating constantly thinking, I have to get this girl to like me, or going in with this desperation or scarcity mindset, you're going to be disappointed time and time again. Because the reality is that you should be focusing on, do I even like her? Let me get to know her and figure out if I like her before I even think about, I have to get her to like me. She's my only option. Really important mindset to have. My next one, maybe the toughest one on the list for a lot of you. I'm including this because it is a comment, a question, a concern that I get probably the most out of everything, or one of the most out of anything. That is, you cannot change your height, and you have to accept that. And I know this is a sore subject for a lot of you, understandably, because of all the videos of women saying they'll only date men who are over 6 feet and they would never date a short guy, not giving any love to the short kings out there. But the reality is that there are girls who are like that. It's just the way it is. We have to accept that. There are also so many girls who are not getting on podcasts, who are not in YouTube videos, who are not in a street interview that you saw on TikTok, who do not give a crap about your height. They don't care if you're 5'5", they don't care if you're 6'5". They just want a nice guy to date that might be taller than them. And trust me, I know from interviews that I've done, from girls that I've talked to, from things I've seen online, social media really makes it seem like every single woman on earth cares about a guy being 6 feet, but I pinky promise you that they don't. Is it a preference? Sure, but for a lot of girls, it is not a deal breaker. And going back to you specifically accepting your height, this is something that you need to learn to love about yourself. Or at least get to a point where you find peace with it and you can be okay with it. And the reason is because why waste your time focusing on something that you absolutely cannot change unless you spend a whole bunch of money to get leg lengthening surgery, but that's super painful and super expensive, and I would not recommend doing it. Not every girl likes a short king. It is what it is. But there are plenty of women out there who do not care. And what I want you to do instead is spend your time focusing on things you can change, or more specifically, improve about yourself. You can't change your height, but you can work on your self-esteem and your confidence. You can get a good haircut and work on your style. You can find your passions, things you enjoy and love doing, and work towards your goals. And your purpose. Guys, there's more to life than how tall you are. And if a girl can't see that, she's not the girl for you anyway. And my last one here is that time is your most valuable asset. Spend it wisely. Jim Rohn, one of the pioneers of personal development, once said, "Time is our most valuable asset, yet we tend to waste it, kill it, and spend it rather than invest it." Think about how you spend your time. Take a second, think about what you've been doing today before watching this video, what you're going to do the rest of the day. And maybe some changes you can make to that to make it more powerful. Some things that you can do to work on this is to plan your day ahead. Make to-do lists, prioritize specific tasks, utilize a planner or a calendar. Focus in order to maximize your time and cut out those distractions. You can even set a little timer if you need to for 30 minutes and say, all right, I'm going to focus on this task for 30 minutes, no distractions. I'm sitting right here. I'm not looking at my cell phone. I'm actually going to turn my cell phone off, and we're going to get this done. Giving myself 30 minutes, no distractions. Really zone in and focus. So many of us lose focus because we have a million things going on. This is something that your girl struggles with, all right? I'm on my laptop writing a script. Oh, then I get a text, then I get an email, and I start doing the email, and then I forget what I was doing on my laptop and forget about the script. Oh, and then my dishwasher goes off, or my laundry, and I do my laundry. It's like I'm like a squirrel. I'm like doing a million things. Another little tip for you that I started doing was looking at my little section on my iPhone where it tells you screen time and the time that you spend on each individual app. When I tell you, I had spent like 3 or 4 hours on TikTok one day. That was enough for me to know TikTok's gotta go. I'm only using it for content. I'm not getting on there and scrolling, because think of what I could have done in 4 hours. I could have run a 5K. I could have gone to the grocery store. I could have driven down to Cincinnati to spend the day with my family. I mean, when you think about it that way, it's like, wow, I spent 4 hours mindlessly scrolling, and I could have been doing something that benefited my mental health, my physical health, or just in any way. When you think about it that way, I think it helps you better understand just how much time you're wasting. You're like, okay, I spent 4 hours mindlessly scrolling on this app for what? Nothing. I have nothing to show for it. I probably don't even remember anything I watched. I could have done something so much more productive. And I'm not saying you shouldn't enjoy your free time. You should absolutely relax, enjoy your free time, give yourself a break. You don't need to be a little, lab rat working 24/7. But I do think it's important to make sure that you understand where your time is going and how you might be able to reframe that or change things around to make it work in your favor. And when it comes to dating, be picky on who you give your time to. Set boundaries, stop chasing women, and stop wasting your time on people who don't give a hoot about you. So guys, that is all I have for 9 brutal truths that men need to hear to live their best lives. If you liked this video or found it helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to be in the loop for when I release new content. Let me know down below some brutal truths that you think men need to know, some things that you think women need to know. I thought of a lot more when I was going through this, but maybe we'll do a little part 2 to give you guys another one. I didn't want to make the video too long, and I thought that 9 was already enough. So I would love to hear from you guys down in the comments. If you haven't already, be sure to follow me over on Instagram at Courtney Christine Ryan. I love connecting with all of you guys over on there as well. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.